and welcome back to C3 Marble Race 100. So last we left off, Cat's Eye Red was the second one to move on to the semifinals, and it was also the winner of Group B, by the way. And because of that, we are now officially halfway throughout the group rounds, meaning only 2 more groups to go until the semifinals is 100% complete. So for this video, which is part 4 by the way, we're going to be doing Group C, aka the green group. So I'm not going to go over the rules again since, well, they're basically the same as, the last two parts. And also, you all should basically know how the rules work at this point. It's basically just 4 Marble Championship episodes combined into one tournament, even though the semifinals will have a completely different rule setting entirely, just to keep things fresh and such. So yeah. And also the qualification round was, well, it's the qualification round, so of course that's obviously going to have a different rule setting than this round, so yeah. So anyways, there's basically nothing else for me to go over since y'all should know how the rules work at this point. So like I said, for this video, it's gonna be with Group C, aka the green group. And of course, like I said, we only 2 more groups to go until we determine the rest of the semifinalists. And of course, the semifinals will be 100% complete after this round, aka the group round. So yeah. And of course, there's basically nothing else for me to go over. So of course, before we start, I will show off the track. And of course, this is the same track as the last Chapter 3 Season 4 track, with a couple of differences, of course, which of course the Imaginarium portion of this track being different due to the size of the marbles. And also, I decided to replace this playing funnel with a flat funnel because, well, I kind of want to spice up the action in the track. So yeah. Other than that though, the track does remain similar as the original track, so yeah. So if you do want to use this one in your videos, then, well, obviously make sure to credit me if you do even have the tendency to use this, because of the fact that it utilizes both of these sets. So yeah. So that's going to be about it for the track. And of course, I will go over the marble names for Group C, and we can officially get started. So the contestants for Group C are Lava, Tiger Shark, Pearl, and See-Through Neon. So now, without further ado, let Group C, aka the green group, begin. Beginning with Lava and Tiger Shark. Down the first funnel we go. Like he's going to get out of it first. And it is Tiger Shark, and looks like he's going to be making his way into the second funnel first. And also, by the way, Lava is one of our former world champions. Specifically, he dethroned Ricky Blue in the Chapter 2 Grand Finale, but can he do it again in this one? We'll have to find out and see. So far though, he is doing a pretty good job on keeping... So far though, Tiger Shark is doing a pretty good job on keeping his lead. It looks like he's going to make his way into the double entrance funnel. Okay, sorry about my bad camera focus there. Oh, and it looks like Lava DNF, so therefore that automatically gives the W to Tiger Shark. So yeah, I guess that was kind of an easy win for him. So therefore Tiger Shark will be moving on, while Lava will unfortunately be eliminated, but he still will get to compete for, well, the rest of the results for this group. But yeah, unfortunately for Lava though, that kind of destroys, that pretty much destroys his chances of becoming world champion again. But yeah, so sorry Lava, but that was kind of a hard L you took there, but at least you still get to compete for, well, second place for this group. But yeah, So therefore, Tiger Shark will automatically move on to, well, we'll be moving on. So, yeah. Well, that definitely took an unexpected turn right there. But for this match, we have See-Through Neon and Pearl. Anyways, down the first funnel we go. Pearl might have the slight lead. However, though, See-Through Neon isn't too far behind, so he may or may not be able to catch up, but we'll have to see how the rest of this race goes. And it looks like Pearl is still going to keep his lead as he makes his way into the split path and the dual funnels. He's going to take the top funnel. Well, actually, yeah, Pearl's going to take the top funnel while See-Through Neon will take the bottom funnel. And Pearl is now going to keep her lead, but gets stuck. Oh, looks like they both entered the double entrance funnel at the same time. Well, yeah, simultaneously to say the least. However, though, Pearl is still going to keep her lead, but gets caught by See-Through Neon, so it looks like See-Through Neon might have the slight lead. But Pearl says no way, as she makes her way into the Imaginarium portion of this track. But they almost seem to be head-to-head, but we'll have to see how this goes. Ooh, and now See-Through Neon is going to make her way into the final funnel. Ooh, very close. But Pearl is still going to be winning this match. And as a result, she will be fighting Tiger Shark to see who will move on to the semifinals. Sorry, See-Through Neon. You put up a very impressive fight right there, but ultimately, See-Through Neon will be moving on to fight Tiger Shark to see who will be in the semifinals. Alright, so these are the results right here. So both Tiger Shark and Pearl managed to, well, move on. But only one of them can move on to the semifinals, so unfortunately for these two, especially for Lava, they will be eliminated. But yeah, and also kind of odd, well yeah, also kind of funny how the marbles that won are white marbles. Well, even though for Tiger Shark, he has some blue or purple, however you see that color. Well yeah, even though he has some blue and purple in him, and Pearl has, well, red, green, and yellow in him, I still consider them as, well, white marbles, but yeah, that's besides the point. Kind of funny how the marbles that won are white marbles, while the marbles that lost are red marbles. So yeah, kind of an L for me because, you know, red's my color, but whatever, that's off topic. But let's see who will move on to the semifinals. Will it be Tiger Shark or Lava? Let's find out. Alright, down the first funnel. Wow, looks like Tiger Shark got stuck on the blue snake and had to be freed by Pearl. Probably not going to do that much commentary for this one since, you know, and also just so you can hear the music a little bit better. But anyways, Tiger Shark is going to keep his lead into the double entrance funnel, with Pearl struggling to catch up. Oh, it looks like Pearl ditches the funnel and automatically makes his way into the final funnel, well, second to last funnel. And because of that, Pearl will be the third contestant to move on to the semifinals. Congratulations, Pearl. You have earned the 3rd spot for the semifinals. Sorry, Pearl, you did try your hardest, but ultimately you have failed. But hey, you still get to compete for, well, 2nd place for this group, but yeah. But as for you, Tiger Shark, you have successfully punched your ticket into the semifinals, and you will be fighting against Leaf Green, Cat's Eye Red, and the final contestant who will move on to the semifinals, in which that will be determined in the next video, so yeah. And now, with Tiger Shark being the 3rd one to advance to the semifinals is now 75% complete, as we only have one more group to go to determine to see who will be moving on to the semifinals. But of course, we are obviously not done yet, as we still have to determine the rest of the results for Group C. So the rest of the contestants who failed to move on to the semifinals, but will be competing for 2nd place, are Lava, Pearl, and See-Through Neon. Let's see who will score 2nd, 3rd, and last. Alright, down we go in the first funnel. Now we are in the 2nd funnel. See-Through Neon is going to keep that lead into the 3rd funnel. And See-Through Neon is going to make his way through the split path and into the dual funnels. He's going to take the bottom funnel, while Lava will take the top funnel, and looks like Pearl will also be taking the bottom funnel. Now we're in the double entrance funnel. Alright, we're now in the imaginary portion of this track. Now in the final funnel. And it looks like See-Through Neon will be scoring 2nd. 4th will be Lava, and unfortunately for you, Pearl, you'll be scoring last place. Big oops. But also, congratulations to See-Through Neon on scoring 2nd place for Group C. And even though it's not, obviously, well, it's not enough for him to move on to advance to the semifinals, but still, 2nd place is, I guess, better than nothing, but yeah. And with that, we now only have one more group to go until we are officially set for the semifinals, which of course is Group D right here, aka the yellow group. But of course, we will determine the winner of Group D in the next video, as the C3 Marble Race 100 saga continues on. So of course, like I said, the group rounds are now officially 75% complete, as we are very close to determining the semi-finalists. And also, yes, I do apologize for a couple of line flubs here and there. I kind of had a long day, so just bear with me on that one, so yeah. But anyways, I guess that's going to be about it for this video, so hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up to show your support. Feel free to leave a comment down below. Subscribe to that notification bell enabled, and feel free to follow all my socials down below. And I'll see you guys in Group D as we determine not only the winner of, well, Group D, but also the semi-finalists. Well, who will be moving on to the semi-finals, so yeah. And again, apologize for a few line flubs, but whatever. Nobody's perfect. Anyways, that's about it for this. Bye-bye for now, and have a good day.